Hello, let's give it a start, I would say. Hello and welcome to our first virtual open house at the School of Design Thinking in Potsdam. And actually, some of us are in Potsdam, not all of us for sure. Like about 6 months ago, no, 5 months ago, actually, we had our last physical open house session and all of us were there. But now, new times, completely different times, and all of you are participating here in a way which is somehow normal to you. So it is also somehow normal to us to meet online, to meet virtual, and to give you a little impression about this School of Design Thinking from a different perspective. We try to make it as physical, as touchable as possible, but it will be a difficult thing. But with the help of all of you, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to manage that. And together with my, my fabulous colleague Claudia Nicolai, I would like to welcome you. My name is Uli Weinberg, and we are starting off the whole thing here. I started off actually the School of Design Thinking 13 years ago, physically, together with our friends from Stanford D School. And that is our first year where we somehow have to reinvent ourselves. And that is a fabulous thing. And we are very happy that we have so many participants today. It is as crowded as it used to be also physically in House D, now virtually. And I hope you all have a good line. You can understand us. I see Wolf Dietmar. Uh, I waved because we tried to chat yesterday, try to see each other. It didn't work. Now it works. Great that you are here. I hand over to Claudia. Claudia Nicol.
Thank you, Uli. It's also a pleasure for me, and also a warm welcome from my side. I am one of the few who are today in Potsdam at the Hasso-Plattner Institute School of Design Thinking, House D. That's my office. So you get a glimpse of also how it can look like for real. And we are really excited that we do already have over 100 people in this virtual open house, the first virtual open house we're running. And we have been putting together a bit of a program that is not just us talking, but also us introducing ourselves, because there are lots more people here at the HPI school who design programs, who run activities, who do research, etc. But also we want you to experience a bit how does it really feel to do design thinking, specifically in these disruptive times where place matters even more. Place became a bit more for us also the virtual space. At the D School, we are running mostly everything now for this semester for the first time online, with a couple of on-site activities that are built in these programs. By having said this, we also want to start sharing with you a bit of the Netiquette that we want and hope that everybody can respect those rules. I can imagine that it's not the first Zoom meeting for most of you. I can also imagine that most of you are somehow really fixed to that tiny little thing up there, your camera, and that you always try to actually be there. But however, in terms of running this afternoon together with you, we'd like you to rename yourself in such a way that we know who's there. So whatever you're going to put there, that's like how we would address you. So, and if it's first name, last name, that's fine. If it's something else, that's fine for us as well. If there's anything that you'd like to share with us, also, for example, about sound quality is bad, I do lose the internet connection, please do use the chat function that we do have in Zoom. Typically, it's in the lower bar, menu bar, like in the middle, push on the chat button. And if you would like to send a message to all of us, then you please select to everyone If there is somebody you like to directly address, you can also pick that respective person. And when it comes also for later on to have a bit more of a discussion, questions, because we're also going to have breakout rooms later on. Please also, since we're about 102 people, the virtual indicator of that you have a question, but actually virtually raising your hands. And for those of you who are not familiar with Zoom, what you have to do is actually to activate the participants bar also down in your menu. And then go to the participants list, click on more, where you then also can raise your hand, or if you're not a co-host as I am, you also see it directly in that bar. If you'd like to focus more on the people talking or on the people who are in that call, you can also, first of all, stop the video. And you can also then select the option in your video settings, also down in the menu bar, by clicking on the settings for video, and then also activating in English menu, hide non-video participants. So then on your screen, only the people who have their video on will appear. So, and also for making sound quality and everything better, it would be also great if you're not talking to switch off your microphone. When it comes to also trying to find focus, there are like several options how you can maneuver in Zoom. So you can choose either upper right corner speakers view. So then, for example, I would be back on your screen. And if you go to gallery view, it depends on your processor. You can see an overview about the people attending. And for later on, we come to that. We're gonna ask you about also adding a number to your name for the respective breakout sessions. But now we want to practice one thing, because we'd love also to give our team a shout out from this Netiquette. So we'd like to you who are participants to actually stop your video if you haven't done this, and then also do hide non-video participants. And then I'd like to, maybe Steffi, you can stop screen sharing for a moment. And then I want to give a shout out to actually the rest of the team who should now be on your screen. So I do have Maria Jose Juarez next to me, so I'm just going to hand over to you.
Hola, hello everyone. My name is Maria Jose. I am originally from Mexico. I came to this school 5 years ago. This school changed my life to the extent that I just stayed in Germany. Now I am very honored to be a program lead here, and I am very much looking forward to this day with you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I have a wonderful team next to me, next to my screen, so I will pass the mic now to Jens.
Good afternoon, everyone. At least good afternoon from Berlin. My name is Jens. I'm a proud colleague of Maria Jose and the rest of the program team. Originally from Malaysia, but I will definitely get to more chance to get to know you if you apply for the program. So without further ado, I'm going to pass to another wonderful colleague of ours who also is a program lead, Steffi Gerken.
Hello, also welcome from my side. I'm actually at the D School. So this is not a virtual background, it's all real. And I wish you can see it too, but hopefully there will be a time soon again. But I welcome you also from the Potsdam side. And I'm with the D School since 2016 and worked before also in a software company to implement design thinking. And I'm really looking forward to this time here, and also hopefully to the next semester together with you. And I pass it on to who is next to me, Anja.
Hi, also a great welcome from my side. I'm Anja, communication designer of the D School, and actually already at the D School since 2014, so quite a long time. But this is the first virtual open house we had in those 5.5 years. So yeah, really excited for this. And normally I share an office with Steffi in the main building, so I'll pass it on to her.
Thank you, Anja. Yes, my name is Steffi. I'm responsible for communications and events at the HPI School. I've been doing that since 2017. And yes, so I do everything from newsletters, websites, social media to these kind of wonderful occasions. So I hope you enjoyed the virtual open house, and yeah, feel free to ask your questions in the chat. And yeah, I hope you also enjoy our more interactive sessions later. And now I pass on to my colleague Sharif.
Hey, welcome from my side as well. I'm Sharif, originally from Cairo, Egypt, and joined the D School about 2 years ago now. Super excited to be part of this team. And again, big shout out to Steffi, who put the brains behind putting all this together today. So great job, and looking forward to spending the day with you guys. And I will pass it on to Renata.
Thank you, Sharif. Hi, everyone. I'm Renata. Thank you for tuning in. Also a program lead and originally from Mexico. So, you know, we are a pretty international team. And yes, I'm also at this school, so this is not virtual background. So greetings from Potsdam, and I'm looking forward to spending the next 3 hours with you and maybe seeing you soon in person or virtually. I pass it to Trixie.
Thank you very much. So my name is Trixie Gumbel, and I joined the D School recently this year, and I'm very happy to welcome you also. I got infected with the design thinking virus some years ago when working for an IT company, and I'm very happy to have joined this innovative rear arm, and I am responsible for project development, so I would be your first contact point if you want to become a project partner or project partner again. And I would like to pass on to Svenja Kabelitz.
Thank you, Trixie. So my name is Svenja. I actually rejoined the team of the D School a few weeks ago and originally started in 2017. And I'm a knowledge manager, and today I'm here to answer your questions in the chat or support you if you have any problems or questions. So yeah, I wish you a wonderful 3 hours and with a lot of inspiring impressions, and I will pass it on to Elizabeth.
Thank you, Svenja. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth. I'm the program coordinator, also for more than 5 years already. And I'm also Claudia's assistant, and today at the D School as well in my own office. And I'm here to answer all your questions today regarding the application process, the preconditions, everything around how to become a student or a participant at D School, and we will do so later in a breakout session. So, and now we also have a few students on board who are actually studying design thinking at the moment, who are helping out today. So I pass over to them, and maybe you can say just quickly hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, Simon, yeah.
Well, so I'm Carlos. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm one of the participants of this year's basic track, the online version, but still I'm happy to answer all your questions later on. Simon, how about you?
Yes, hello, I'm Simon, and I'm also currently studying in this well, exceptional online basic track, and I'm really happy to answer all the questions you might have about the program. And yeah, that is from my side. And
thanks. And then I still have one person who's hiding because he's our support. Shout out to Remy.
Hi, welcome to my side as well. Yeah, my name is Remy Chalai, so I'm originally from France, so that's why my first and my last name sound like this. I'm responsible for media equipment and the IT system administration at the D School. So yeah, during the open house, if you have technical issues, so don't hesitate to contact me. You can see the phone number in the background.
Now you have experienced our incredible team and the great diversity we even have in this little group of people, which is actively running the whole program now without nearly any break from March 11th on up to now, and they are now willing to share a lot of our experiences, and we're happy that we will invite probably another round of diversity and attracting this kind of diversity, because that is one of the things we are focusing very much on. We want to have so many different views on the problems we are facing in the world, and it's not just enough to look from one certain expertise. Now we want to have different views, and this is what we try to reflect here in our team, and this is what we are looking for in terms of students, in terms of coaches who are actually helping us to run the whole program, and also in terms of project partners. We are always looking for for a large variety of different challenges and different organizations to really give us a chance to run the program, because the whole program is fully project based. And I'm not sure if we are now switching to slides back again.
We thought we're gonna do the warm-up next, because now we have been talking and introducing ourselves. We have been trying out the hide non-video participants. Now we'd like to invite everybody actually to do the opposite, to actually switch on your videos. Please do so, because my lovely colleague Renata Landa Lopez will actually lead us through a warm-up that will also include some activity, and also will give you the opportunity to actually see who's also around. It's 105 people in the room, by the way. Renata.
Wow, well, thank you very much, everyone. So the next thing that we're gonna do is a warm-up. So warm-ups are things that we use here at D-School, exercises, sometimes with the meaning of reflection. Today, we're gonna do it in order to put us in the mood to continue this invitation that we have made, the time that you have taken to be with us. And with that said, the warm-up name is Everyone Who. So what are we doing? So first of all, I can imagine many of you are sitting like me. Yes, no, I cannot see all the cameras, but I'm going to assume that most of you are sitting. So Everyone Who consists that I will say a couple of statements, and if your answer is yes, you're gonna get up. And if your answer is no, you're gonna go down. So let's practice. Just so everyone, please get up if you can from your chair, wherever you're sitting. And if it's too uncomfortable, then you can do hands up and hands down. All right, so yes, no, yes, up, no, yes. All right, so I think we got it. So is everyone ready? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So everyone who has a pet. All right, so a couple of people. Everyone who loves garlic to eat in their food, garlic. Yeah, me too. Okay, everyone who has ever ran more than 5 kilometers. Okay, you can also stay in between if your average, you know, like me, it's like 4 kilometers, maybe when I'm lucky. All right, so everyone who cooks their meals every day. All right, so everyone who plays an instrument. Okay, everyone who loves coffee. All right, perfect. And now everyone who's ready to start. Woo, yeah, perfect. All right, so I hope you're a bit warm now and ready. You can sit, have a little breath. And yeah, we're gonna start and we're gonna continue this presentation that Claudia and Uli and Steffi have started. So I give the word back to you, Claudia and Uli. And yeah, let's do this. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Renata. So that was the Netiquette. Yeah, we have prepared a program as we do every year, a 3-hour program, and it should be as entertaining as it is usually in the physical world. So after the welcome and introduction, we are going to introduce in 3 different slots. On one hand, the academic program, the whole student program, which is a 2-semester program plus our short track, as we call the Global Design Thinking Week. Then we are also doing a breakout session for all the ones who are interested in being a project partner. Institutions, companies, organizations, please join that part. Then we do also we get an input from our friends from HPI Academy who tell us all about the professional programs which we are offering. There's also a virtual tour through the building, which is a kind of prepared tour. And there is a Q&A session with students and the D-School team. So you see all the Ask Me buttons on the screens here. Those are the people, including myself and also Claudia. Do you have a no? You have a physical Ask Me button somewhere. So you can always reach out to us. And then at 5 o'clock design thinking session, Claudia, want to explain a little bit more about that?
Exactly. So what you actually have to do right now is to think about what's of interest for you the most, because we're gonna offer in a few minutes like separate breakout rooms. So if you are interested in any of the academic programs we have, that includes by title, basic, advanced track, Global Design Thinking Week, and Wayfinder, you should actually, sorry, didn't start in order, but I did start in order of the agenda. Put a 2 in front of your name. So put a 2 in front of your name if you want to know more about the academic programs. If you are more interested in becoming a project partner or also learning about other collaboration opportunities that you have, but that we offer, so then please put a 1 in front of your name. A 1 for the ones who want to know more about this topic. That's actually going to be co-hosted by Uli Weinberg and Trixie Gumbel. For the academic program, this is actually going to be all program leads, including myself, as also the academic director. And the third option you have, if you are a professional, so you're no longer a student by nature, and you want to learn more about the offers we do through our HPI Academy, put a 3 in front of your name. Why do we do so? Because it's then easier for our magic or magician behind the scenes to assign us in a few minutes to the breakout room. What does it mean? It does mean that this is the starting slot. If you feel like I have learned enough, heard enough about this program or the partner and I want to go to the next breakout room, just like leave the breakout room, come back to the main session and ask our digital concierge to get reassigned. So you can also switch in between this half-hour slots to those different breakout sessions. And that's in terms of, I would say, practicalities for the first part. And then it's all gathering together. So at 4 p.m., the virtual tour is offered to everybody. Then after that, it's going to be Q&A with our students and also with the HPI D-School team. Did I forgot actually to mention the breakout room number 4? Can everybody give me a sign? Yeah, so thank you. That's actually not on this slide, because there's also a 4th option that also might be of interest for the ones who want to not hear from us leads talking about the programs, but want to hear from Simon, Carlos, and a couple of also their colleagues who are joining directly how it feels to be in this new world. Not just having a purely analog program, but also having a virtual program. Then please put a 4 in front of your name. Sorry about that. And these are the four options that you have. Before we're gonna head into these sessions, we already want to do a shout out to also what's coming next. Actually, there are some other events that we're gonna run in the future, and there's one that actually is happening pretty soon. And that's actually by, maybe Uli, you can say a few words about the powwow that's coming up tomorrow.
That is happening tomorrow, and that is the second one now in a row of events we are celebrating together with the Global Design Thinking Alliance. That is the organization, the alliance was started at Potsdam at our 10th anniversary 3 years ago. And it is, in the meantime, it became an alliance of about 16 institutions in 5 continents. So it's really global outreach. And we have the pleasure to welcome tomorrow Shuilin Lin. She is heading the Design Thinking Innovation Center in Beijing at the Communication University of China. And she will report about her learnings through the COVID experience. And they are a little bit more experienced in China than we are in Germany. And so I'm looking forward to her talk tomorrow. It's a 1-hour session. Next one will be probably in about 2 or 3 weeks. It's about, every 2 or 3 weeks we try to join forces with the Global Design Thinking Alliance. So, and there is
yes,
another.
and the last like shout out we want to do is to actually invite you, if you are already a design thinking practitioner, to participate in an ongoing study that our colleagues Falk Übernickel and Stefanie Gerken, not Sperken because it's Schwertfeger and Gerken, so Stefanie Gerken and Falk Übernickel are doing. It's about the current status and the future of design practice in organizations. You see here the link on the slide, but Steffi will also share it and has already done it in the chat. So that would be something that we want to invite you to. Yeah, so having said this, without no further ado, I'd like to do a shout out. Are there any questions or anything else that we should retrieve from the chat? Steffi, Schwertfeger?
Can I just maybe sort of just step in 1 second just to help people know that because some people put not group 1 and 2. So some things are happening in parallel. So you just need to maybe refer back to the agenda just for a second to clarify this, because you need to decide on one or the other, but you can always return to the main session and switch to a different room if you want to do so. But yeah, the 4 sessions are in parallel, but one is slightly longer than the others. So just to keep that in mind.
Okay. Awkward silence. So.
So yes, so we can start the program talk now, the introduction to the programs, and yeah, Sharif will launch the first breakout room for the professional education, and yeah, that's the next steps.
Okay.
Can I also just quickly ask the facilitators to also add the 1 to their name, because not everyone is in the list so far. Thank you.
Okay, see you soon. Again.
Can you just please rename yourselves on the actual Zoom participants list, not in the chat, because it's very hard to keep track of your name and the chat as well.
Maybe we need to explain how to rename yourself. You can see in your field of your video, you can see on the top right corner 3 dots. If you click on that, you have a drop-down box where it says rename. That's how you
Sorry,
can
can you assign me to the second room soon, because I'd like to start the slides.
The presentation is happening in the main session, and then the breakout rooms is for the follow-up questions. So you just start now if you like. Everyone is here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that could have been some. Okay, great. So everybody who's here is here for the program, right?
I think Franzi and Julian.
Now I get it. Sorry, what?
Shouldn't Franzi and Julian not be in the professional one? So Franziska and Julian from the academy, you should rename yourself with a 1. Was it 1? And then go to the breakout session. They need to be assigned.
Okay, thank you for the clarification, Sherif. That was super helpful to know where we are and that we just can stay in that room. So for those
Claudia,
of you who are here, yes.
Just a second. We see your slides in presentation mode, not in presentation mode, in note mode.
Okay, then maybe somebody else can do the slide share. Would it be possible? That would be nice. Thank you, because I don't know how to handle that.
Now it's working.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. So what we want to do is to give you just a quick overview about like what we run as programs here at the D-School. Us, as you already saw, are the program leads. Can you go to the next slide, please? Who are on there, and you see us also doing final and last touches on the presentation an hour ago. So we're like really pretty much accustomed to be in a virtual world, but also working together and having fun. So that's us, and it's also us taking turns and talking about the program. I'm gonna start with just a few remarks about like where we are, like for real, and also in the virtual world, because we are part of the Hasso-Plattner Institute. So D-School, HPI, School of Design Thinking, of course, is, next slide, please, part of the Hasso-Plattner Institute. There are a lot of offers that we have here in the field of bachelor and master's program research groups. But part of the whole thing is also design thinking. And the design thinking programs we have been designing over the time are not just open for people who are already enrolled at either University of Potsdam, Faculty for Digital Engineering, HPI, but also for everybody who's interested in. And also to give you a bit of a shout out, we're not just doing academics in terms of running programs here. Next one, please. But we also are doing research on design thinking, as you already saw with the glimpse into Steffi's study. There are a couple of more things that we run. We also have research projects about innovation labs, leadership, and also innovation networks. If you want to also know more about these, just like reach out to us or to me, as I'm not just like responsible for the academic programs, but also for research activities and lots of the international collaborations we have. HPI D-School, as already mentioned, has been founded several years ago. So we do operate since 2007. Next slide, please. Actually, as I already said, like we're open to every discipline, every university. What we practice in the analog as well as in the virtual world is actually a problem-based learning approach. So we don't want to just like give you the opportunity to like read about design thinking. It's about experiencing it, and it's also about experiencing it for real in terms of really working on relevant problems, but also on relevant projects. So to really give you that experiential learning experience that actually takes place typically in a team, and that's also holds true for the virtual setting. The HPI D-School actually has a lot of different programs. Next slide, please. And we are in total in an even larger team than the few, you already saw. We do work together with a highly experienced group of design thinking coaches who are either at other universities or even more often do also work in companies or also have their own company founded as, for example, a design thinking consultancy or innovation consultancy. And what you also see here, it's a broad variety of projects that we offer within our various programs every year. But also a bit of like a context and content about like what do we consider actually as being design thinking. Design thinking for us is actually an approach that we do call a human-centered approach. So we'd like to tackle any innovation problem from the perspective of the real human being who is either affected by a certain like condition or who is a user of a product or of a service. And that's what we do also call then wicked problems. So it's actually good for like problems where you don't know where the actual solution will be. So it's really something where you want to also create disruptive ideas. So therefore, over the time, design thinking also has been undergoing an evolution. Next slide, please. From having been something that has been developed for just like how to improve products. It does come from like with its initial concept from Stanford, Silicon Valley, California, where IDEO as an agency has been introducing it to the application of design principles, not just by designers to products, but also for non-designers to other solutions. And we are at the D-School specifically have been extending that, not only to how to design services, but even more importantly, how to actually find new business ideas and how to also make cultural change within organization happen. That at the end will also actually lead to help us design futures, the future we really want to live in. So therefore, when we do look at what design thinking really consists of, it's a combination of having that human-centeredness in a focus, but also trying to figure out like what technology will make actually the idea as a concept possible, and how we can also design for a new organizational setting to realize that idea. But we'll also do this in terms of in a frame because we don't not just want to consider everything that's new for good. So therefore, next, please. Would like to actually frame the ideas we're looking at from a human-centered perspective within the value frame if it's also going to make a good impact on the system, on the society and sustainability. So therefore, the HPI D-School actually relies pretty much on also what we do call the Sustainable Development Goals. So we try, next slide, to focus on framing challenges within those 16 or respective, also the networking field, 17 global goals. So these are like the topic areas that we think are matter for us. And the approach, next slide, please. Sorry for doing this next slide, but if I'm not like having this control, I have to do it. We do focus in the programs on experiencing 3 different elements. So how to go through a design process that is actually somehow inspired by design thinkers, by designers, but is now addressed for design thinkers, people coming from different disciplines and bringing also to the table different experiences by then working together in actually that multidisciplinary, transdisciplinary team and trying to explore the space. And the space is not just like having a place to work at, but also the space where you can actually see your solution in. And that can be either in the virtual or also in the real world. So therefore, at the end, next slide, please. What we are looking for when it comes to also D-School, we do not just want to give you a better knowledge about methods and tools in design thinking, but we also want to help you to actually make something out of it. In terms of to become an innovator, to become a change maker if change is needed, and also to become your own founder, entrepreneur, to actually create something new. So that's what the program is about in terms of whom we are addressing. We work, next slide, in multidisciplinary teams, and we also going to do so in the virtual world. Next slide, please. I'm not going to talk about this a lot, but like the learning journeys we have been developing so far are actually meant to be built on trying to create an open culture, but also to create a safe space for you to trust and rely on each and everybody, and then really start working together to be also somehow radical when it comes to creating new solutions that are going to make an impact. And that's what we have been building into every program. And in the following, we'd like to give you an overview about our program design. The program overview actually has been changing a lot because, as Uli already shared with you, we had to design for disruptive times. Very short notice before the semester, but also for one of our program offers that we already did run in March and are about also now to present to you because we're going to run it in September too. So therefore for us, also what makes D-School, again, not such an only inspiring place as a real location, but also in terms of how you can transform and redesign this for the virtual world is something we also want to give you a bit of a glimpse into. So for example, in our virtual world, we work a lot with also new tools for digital collaboration, as for example, Miro, a platform that offers you not just only being a whiteboard facility, but also gives you the opportunity to explore even more. And now I'm going to start handing over to my lovely colleagues because we not just want to talk about the basic track, we also want to give you a bit of an overview also about our short programs, and we're going to start there. The first short program, next slide please, is actually Global Design Thinking Week that has specific focus areas, and for this I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Renata Landa-Lopez.
Thank you, Claudia. Next please, Maria Jose. All right, so Global Design Thinking Week. As Claudia mentioned, this is one of our short format programs. And what the Global Design Thinking Week is a deep dive. So we have 5 different topics in which we focus. So we have human-centered strategies and strategic futures, where we also envision, okay, how are things gonna look like? We use different techniques. We have inspiration to ideas, which it's the one that we did in March, and it was our first virtual program where we find, okay, how can we solve problems and get inspired from nature, from art, from buildings. Then we have prototyping as a mindset when we really focus in having a deep dive of how to prototype. How do you use your hands? How do you use wireframes? We do it by having different sprints, prototyping sprints. And well, we have developing and leading innovation in teams. So as Claudia said, we really focus in the topic of leadership, but shared leadership. So how are you on a team? How do you develop on a team? What roles? How do you use design thinking? And in which terms can you actually reach the point where it's shared leadership? And the one, the last but not least, which we will have also a format in September, is designing for global impact. So as it was already said, we do focus our work also in the SDGs, and designing for global impact is specifically this. We want to see where are you exactly located in the planet. It doesn't matter from us. We have many international students for this program. So what we do is how are things looking in your local context, and how can you create impact, and by working on a challenge. Next, please. Thank you. So the program in September will be a 5-day program, which will be divided in 40 to 50 hours of blended format. What does this mean? This means that all these hours will not be divided only in 5 days as we used to have before, but we will have them in 3.5 weeks. So it's going to be from the 7th of September to the 30th of September. And we're going to have a program where you can really deep dive wherever you are. Blended for us means that you will also do work in the country you're in, but we will also open the possibility to people who are actually here to come to D-School under certain rules, of course, but we also want to open that space. So blended for us, it's really this combination where you can create wherever you are and at the same time be part of a global international team. We're going to have a very interesting challenge that will focus on new ways of democracy. So if you want more information, please, next. Yes. So I just want to give you an overview before closing this. This is how it looks, the overview. So we launched the challenge. You will have a team. It's a team-based work, as Claudia said. So we really see, okay, where are you? How will you work together? And you do research. Then you do field work wherever you are. You can be in Berlin, you can be in Mexico, you can be in Malaysia. And you're going to have a couple of interviews, either virtual or in person. This will be discussed during the program. Then we have a sprint on site. So this is a sprint that we want to offer here. And at the same time, since we will have mixed teams, we want to offer the possibility of having virtual teams and on site. And then we have a final concept. So what we want to do is really to frame this problem and understanding and find, okay, new ways of democracy and what does that mean wherever you are, and how does this create impact? So this is our focus for September. Next, please. And before, I want to give the word to Claudia, because she designs this program. We designed this program together, and I saw, yes, Claudia?
No, I just wanted to try not to be like, I wanted to have next slide, so I wanted to help you. So, but I didn't.
Ah, okay.
Sorry
Yes,
for that.
thank you. Yes. All right. Thank you. So if you guys want more information about this deep dive, Claudia and me will be thrilled to receive you. The application deadline will be 31st of July. And yeah, just click. Well, I mean, you cannot click because it's a presentation, but just copy the link, please, or find us and please ask me directly or Claudia, and we will be thrilled to have you. So this is short format programs, and I will give the word to Claudia, who will tell us more about our other short format program.
Exactly, and we're also going to share all this information because I think there are a couple of things popping up in the chat. So when is application deadline, application platform, etc. Also later in the Hangout session with you, but also we're going to share with you also this information digitally because you did sign up for this event. We got your email address, and this email address will send that presentation. Sound is weird, by the way. I don't know why, but now it's gone. Thanks. A second short program I just want to quickly pitch is we do believe in development, not just in terms of ideas, but more specifically in terms of people. So therefore, second short program we're going to run throughout the next winter term. It's actually called our Wayfinder program. We offer our effort together with like two of my other lovely colleagues, Martin Schwemmler and Claudia Thal, and it's about personal and leadership development, specifically in these kind of changing settings that we're in. And further information in terms of how to apply if you are an HPI student or if you're an external student will also be shared online. This program is about to start with the next winter term. So that's around the beginning of November. It's going to be 4 short sessions spread throughout 8 weeks. And that's the second short program. But now we'll come to the main reason why you're all here. I think so, and I hope so, because you're interested to learn more about the basic track, our foundational design thinking program. And with this, I'm going to hand over to Jens and Maria Jose.
Yes, so thank you so much, Claudia, for introducing us. So yes, this is the basic track. We like to call it the foundational design thinking program, because it's where you basically learn all the foundations from design thinking when it comes to the academic perspective, but not only this, because you get to actually immerse yourself and do a very hands-on approach. So I'm gonna hand the mic to Jen to talk about the next slide.
Thank you. In a nutshell, the program is approximately 4 months long. That includes welcoming you, getting you onboarded with the tools and the platforms that we will be using for the semester. And we will end in that 4 months with you submitting to us a documentation report. So approximately, you will imagine of approximately 12 to 13 weeks of program days, where it's typically hosted on a Tuesday and a Friday. However, due to the virtual format, these 2 days will still remain as mandatory days, but we will spread the working hours throughout the week. And these working hours, we call it as self-directed teamwork. So to give you in a nutshell how it will look like, on Tuesday, you will come in as a team, you come in as a cohort. We will start approximately at 9:30, and we will end the day approximately about 2:30, 3 o'clock. And that goes as well for Friday. But when you convert that into hours, that's approximately about 8 hours or 9 hours of work time. Essentially, what we need you to commit is 16 hours of work time per week, at least. And that other remaining 7 to 8 hours, we want you and your team to plan plan these hours as what we call a self-directed teamwork on the days that it's not the program day. So you can think about getting together on Monday, Wednesday or Thursday, or even if you have the energy and the capacity, you can also do that after the program days on Tuesday and Friday. But we want you as a team to take ownership of those non-mandatory program days and take ownership of these self-directed teamwork days. Apart from just learning the process, you will have an opportunity to work with partners, and they would share business challenges for you as a team to tackle. And on top of that, like I think what Claudia has talked about earlier, it's the potential or the opportunity to work in a multidisciplinary format. So without further ado, we would like to just briefly share with you our project partners who is working with us this semester. And
Cool, thank you, Jen. So as you can see, we have very diverse project partners this semester, and this means we have from the private sector, from the public sector, and we also have NGOs. And these are some of the portfolio of the project partners we have this semester working with us, from the House for the United Nations to Roche, to the School of Design Thinking. Also, we have the opportunity to work with the Moleskine Foundation, the Furberliner House, and yeah, it entails very diverse challenges. And so this is also something very interesting about this program, is that you get to work in real life challenges with a real project partner.
Exactly. So most important thing for you to know is that the application deadline is on the 14th of August. If you have any further questions, you can stay back after this presentation. We will then break into different breakout rooms, then you can ask more questions. But one key thing we like to talk about when you talk about application, and that is the T profile.
Yes, and what is the T profile? Well, the T profile is one of the key components of our application process, in which we want to get a bit of a better understanding of who are you. So of course, you perhaps have studied something academically, you have a background, and this is what we call the creative thinking. So everything that is on top of that, what makes you a special person, the person that you are, is what you have to put on top. So that's how we like to call it. This comes from Dorothy Leonard Barton. So you can also have a look if you are interested. You can also Google, but this is something of the key components we have for your application. And it's a great opportunity to also get to know yourself better. I remember when I did my T profile, I realized, oh, I have a lot more of skills than what I thought. So yeah, have a look. It's a really cool template we have here at this school. And you can have, we even show you some examples that we will show you in the real world, but because of the current circumstances, we show you a very nice picture here of how some of the T profiles look at this school. Yes.
And great, to sum it all up, these are the dates that you should remember. Application deadline, 14th of August. You will receive your invitation to participate in the DCAMs that will latest by the 25th of August. The DCAMs, please block your dates now. It will be between 31st of August to the 3rd of September. We want all of you who is invited to participate, so we can also get to know you, and also you will have an opportunity to experience what it's like to be in a basic track program. And then you yourself can also evaluate if this is a great fit for you personally. So therefore, block those dates, 31st of August to 3rd of September. And if you've been through DCAMs, the final invitation for you will happen before September 11th. The program will start on the 30th of October and we will end on the 5th of February. But like I've said, documentations are required still, so we will end with your documentation submission on the 12th of February. Again, if you have any other questions, I know this is brief information. Also, what would be cool today is we have a few basic track students with us today. If you want to get pure, unbiased feedback or comments about the program, I strongly suggest you to also join the breakout rooms that that the students will be hosting, and there's no one from the D-School team will be there. You have that space to talk anything you want. That's it from my side, and that's it from my side. And I'd like to now hand it over to Stephanie Gerken as she talks about advanced track.
Maybe quickly, just like as a clarification. So it's a two-stage application process. Like if you're interested, please apply. You will figure out about how it is also later while being the program. We do look at all the applications, but since we also tend to get a lot of applications, we start pre-selecting. So we're about to actually do a selection out of the applications until August 25th. I'm not gonna let you know if you're going to be invited to DCAMs, and the DCAMs are then in this period. And like if you already saying yes, if they're going to want me and I want them too, we're going to be hopefully a match. Then either please block Monday, Tuesday, 31st of August, 1st of September, or 2nd or 3rd Wednesday, Thursday of that week in your calendar, because these are the potential dates for the second stage, as Jens has been putting it, for the DCAMs. And now to Steffi.
All right, thank you very much. And I also want to give you a sneak peek into the advanced track, which also turned into a virtual format this semester. And this is a little activity that you can see here. Maybe you have a look and you find Waldo. If you have very good eyes and can get very close to the picture. Yeah, usually the advanced track is the second program, which builds up on our foundation program, the so-called basic track. So everyone who has been through the basic track is also eligible to apply to the advanced track. This also means that you cannot apply to the advanced track directly, except you might be an HPI student, have been through 2 global design thinking weeks. Then let's talk about it. But for everyone else, it's really first basic track and then advanced track. However, we accept every semester around 30 students. So that we have there also a smaller amount of teams to really focus on a deep learning experience and work there also on real life challenges over the time of the whole program. So you only work on one challenge with the same team. And this gets a very intense team experience, but also project partner experience. You go the process all the way from inspiration, what might be possible within our challenge frame, to co-creation sessions together with different kind of stakeholders, users, and other people involved in your project, all the way to implementational path, so that you can create impact with your solutions you're creating within your team. Next slide, please. And we are also working this semester with great project partners, and they are also coming from all over the world. And this is a little sneak peek into whom we're currently working with. And this will also be the same in the next semester, that we have a maximum of 6 project partners to keep it very focused, and have a maximum of 5 to 6 people within a team. In every semester, after you have worked in the basic track and either people continued directly with the advanced track or had a break in between, because this is also possible if you want to do something else in between and want to apply later, then people get back together, and we also mix their different people also from different semesters and different knowledge. And every semester there's also people who really love to work together with each other, and maybe they even found a company afterwards. And on the next slide, you're going to see an overview of some of the startups that have gotten out of D-School and that are currently running, hopefully most of them are still running, but they're working on their ideas and their projects. And yes, just as a little last hint and note, if you're interested in applying for the Basic Track or Global Design Thinking Week, the application system will open on Friday. So even though we have posted the link already in the chat, this is for further information. So don't worry if this application procedure is not opened yet. It will open on Friday, so you can add all your details on Friday if you want to apply for these programs. As I said, for the advanced track, then at a later stage, once you have been through the basic track. And with that, we can go to the last slide. We thank you very much for your attention of our academic programs that we are offering here at the HPI School of Design Thinking. And you can raise all of your questions after a 10-minute bio break in different breakout rooms. So there actually all of your numbers that you have put in front of your names become eligible, and that you can address questions to either the program team or to the academic program for the professionals, or also to our students. If you really want to talk to them privately, what their experience is, or also to Elizabeth and some other colleagues who can tell you more about administrational procedures. All right, then thank you very much for your attention, and see you in 10 minutes again.
Maybe
After
just
Sharif
briefly,
said something.
yes, sorry. Just before you go off on your break, it would be great if you can make sure that you renamed yourselves with the number that you want. And again, to reiterate, we'll put the slide up, but it's room 1 for the professionals, 2 for the academic programs, 3 for the application process, and 4 for chatting with the students. Because some of you still don't have numbers. If you're still unsure, we'll still be in the main session, some of us, but please choose the room you want to, so I can assign you to the correct room by the break is over.
So somehow you, with the 2, you stay in the main, and for the others, you're going to be in breakout.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's good to know. What about the virtual tour team?
Yes, if you want to use the break, let me start my video. Hello. If you want to use, take a look at our D-School building, you can head over to HPI's Instagram channel and yeah, just follow Maria Jose and Jens on a virtual tour of the HPI D-School building.
Yeah, and while you are hopefully enjoying the tour, you'll receive just a little invite on Zoom to join the breakout room. You don't have to join it immediately, but yeah, we will start soon after the bio break to join the rooms, but you will receive that invitation when I add you to the room that you've chosen yet. So if you go there and it's empty, don't worry, because we're on a break.
Are we going to put on music now, or is it forbidden because we're recording?
Yeah, we